Welcome to These Are the Blades of Our Lives, the figure skating show where I talk to you about figure skating like it is drama for our mamas. Guys, it's been a really long time since I did the opening for a video. It's been a really long time since I've done videos consistently. But we are getting towards the end of the 2024-2025 season with only two major events left, which is Senior Worlds as well as the World Cup trophy. So here I am to give you guys a prediction of what I think, what I believe, what I feel, what I want to see happen in the 2025 Senior World Championship. Starting my prediction right off the bat with pairs. This is one of the disciplines, and this is like one of two disciplines where, or maybe one of three disciplines where I think I would be happy with whoever wins the title. Well, no, not with whoever wins the title. I would be happy if the top three contenders stayed as they have been all season and one of them win the title. So if we're looking at the top contenders this season, it's definitely Diana Stella de Dudac, Maxime Deschamps. We definitely have Minerva Fabian Hayes and Nikita Volodin. We definitely have Riku Mura and Ryochi Kihara. Those are the top three pairs that have been exchanging wins for this entire season. And I would be perfectly happy with any of them winning this title. But as you guys know, there is a special spot in my heart for the one, the only, the Queen Diva herself, Diana Stiletto Dudek and Maxime Deschamps. You guys know I harp about this like a broken record. I do not like disposable winners. I feel like the only way any sport can thrive is for us to have champions. And the only way for you to have champions is through longevity, through time. You as the athlete has to build a relationship and a rapport with the audience. You have to build a fan base. There has to be emotional investment, and all that requires time. I'm doing this rant to bring it back to the fact that having someone like Diana, being the age that she is, being competitive, sends such a powerful and wonderful message to the younger skaters. You do not need to kill yourself when you are 15, when you are 14, when you are 13. You can take your time to grow, to develop, to fully become the skater, the athlete you were meant to be, and have your success later in life. So this is why, to me, to have Diana and Max win this consecutive back-to-back title would mean so much more than it just being a title. But at the same time, if we have Minerva and Nikita win, I also would not be happy. If we have Riku and Ryuichi win, I also would not be unhappy. Now, I'm just going to give you my rundown and how I think like the top 20 or so pairs I would like to see them play out. So I would like to see Diana and Max winning. I would like to see Minerva and Nikita in second place. I would like to see Riku and Ryuichi in third place. I'm okay with Sarah Conti and Niccolo Machi in fourth place. I would like to see Leah Pereira and Trent Michaud in sixth place. I would have them followed by Annika Hockey and Robert Canal. Then followed by Maria Pavlova and Alexei Savchenko. We also can see Anastasia Goboleva and Hector Gitopatos. Okay, Hector Moore. Okay, I tried, guys. I tried Hector Moore. I would also like to see in the top 10 Alyssa Efanova and Misha Mitrofanov. And then I can also easily see in the top 10 Ellie Khan and Danny O'Shea. I know they're going to be a lot higher than where I'm placing them, but this is what I would like to see. Anastasia Meltonkina and Luka Barilova, maybe in the top 12, somewhere thereabout. Then maybe we can also have in the top 20 Ekaterina, Ganesh, and Dmitry Sheregev. I would love to have them in the top 10, but those side by sides are so weak. But Rebecca Gilardi and Filippo Ambrosini. We can also see in the top 20 Kellyanne Lauren and Lucas Itier. The British have been doing really well, so we can see Anastasia Vapin Law and Luke Digby. Then coming newly formed pair, Gabriela Izzo and Luke Merhofer. They also have a possibility of making it into the top 20. The young Japanese team of Yuna Nagako and Sumitada Moroguchi, they also have the possibility of being in the top 20, as well as the French husband and wife pair of Kamil Kolev and Pavel Kolev. And then maybe in the top 20 we could see Lulia Chechenia and Micah Woznia. Now, this is what I would like to see happen. What I think will likely happen based on how they're competing and how the judges have been picking, I think Minerva and Nikita will probably win this event. Well, then again, they have been solid all season. They have given really strong performances. They've competed back to back. They look well paced. They look in shape. They look like they're mentally where they need to be. My only problem is they had the same thing last season. Last season, they were also undefeated, and then they got to Worlds, and the pressure got to them. So my hope is that they've learned from last year, and now they're in a much better position, and they'll be able to deliver it. I think the judges are going to go with Riku and Ryuichi for the silver medal, because we've already had a head-to-head between Riku, Ryuichi, and Deanna and Max, and Riku and Ryuichi came out on top. So I think the judges might just decide to stay with that, and Riku and Ryuichi might be in the silver medal position. Now, they have had a pretty up and down season. Nothing disastrous, but they've also not had any competition where I was like, wow, they're amazing, they're wonderful. No, this has been a pretty uneven season for them with, good outing, bad outing, okay outing. Then Deanna and Maxine, they started out the season strong, but unfortunately they faltered along the way. They got beaten in the short program and in the long program by their fellow countrymen, not in the same competition, but so far this season they have been beaten both in the long program and in the short program by their countrymen. There were illnesses, there were injuries, so they're definitely not at 100%. They're definitely not at their best, but I feel like if they could put two relatively clean programs together, they'll definitely be in the podium. Then solid for top pair is Sarah and Nicolo. They've worked a lot on their twist. The twist used to be the biggest issue for them. They've worked a lot on the twist. They've made a lot of improvements. So I can definitely, see it. So Sarah and Nicolo are dark horse number one for the podium. Dark horse number two is Anastasia Meltonkina and Luka Barilova. This pair competed at Junior Worlds, which I really did not like. I know they went there for the world standing point, and I know they went there for the award money. And when asked, Luka was like, well, it's not against the law. Well, there are lots of things that are not against the law, but just don't look nice, don't feel nice. And when you answer like that, it shows how much of an ass you are. And I already think you're an ass. So I don't think you answering like that helps anyone's opinion of you improve. I really didn't feel like they needed to be at Junior Worlds. I hope it's the last time we see them at Junior Worlds. I hope they keep their asses in Senior and we don't have to deal with them at Junior Worlds. I really don't like this team. I do not think they have the artistic abilities to match the scores the judges are giving them. That for me is definitely the fact that Georgia is now Russia #2 and E30 is the coach of this team, so they're still getting that E30 bonus in their PCS score because they do not. Their programs don't like either one of them. They should not be getting the PCS scores that they are getting. However, their technical scores, absolutely. Their twists, wonderful. Height, spin. She does a really good split. Their throws, when she gets it, she's high in the air. She travels a good distance. She has a solid landing. Side by side, I think they're the most solid pairs in terms of their side by side. They also have this decent lift. Their technical scores, absolutely deserved. Their PCS score, cut the bullshit. And also, I just don't like him. But I'm pretty sure the judges will have them on the podium if any of the other teams falter because the power behind this team is immense and the judges really want to award them. Another pair that has some really strong backing would probably be the U.S. Ellie Kwan and Danny O'Shea. This is a team that is the opposite of Anastasia and Luca. They have the PCS scores. They have some beautiful in-between skatings. They have beautiful lifts. They have beautiful transition. They have beautiful lines. Technically, whew, that side by side, 40% chance of success. 60% chance one or both of them is going to go down. The throws, 50-50. Technically, in terms of those two element throws and side by side, they're just not there. Their lifts, exquisite, exquisite. But they do have the U.S. pushing them, so I definitely could see them, if other teams falter, maybe getting on that podium. Definitely, I think being in the top 6, if they perform well, will be Leah Pereira and Trent Michaud, because I feel like Canada is not putting all the eggs in one basket, and they're definitely pushing Leah and Trent. And they definitely did very well at 4 Continent. They made a strong comeback. If they can have a repeat performance, definitely they could definitely find themselves in the top 6. Annika and Robert, I feel like the judges have been underscoring them in terms of their PC this entire season, and I don't know why. I love this pair. I especially love her. She has beautiful, fearless air position in her lifts. When she lands that throw, oh my God, it is a thing of beauty. I just don't know why the judges are not giving them the PCS scores they deserve. Then we also have the very steady pair of Maria Polova and Alexei Savchenko. There is nothing wrong with this pair. Technically, they're very sound. Their throws are like 80% she's going to land that throw. The jumps, another 80% they're going to land that side by side. Their lifts are okay. Their twists are okay. But, oh, the entire season. The Pirates of the Caribbean program is not good, but it's not awful. But that short program, Sex Bomb, is such secondhand embarrassment. I do feel like this pair would make progress if they would just package them better and give them better material, which they obviously did not give them this season. So we have to wait to see what happened next season. Possible top 6, top 10 finish would also be Anastasia Goluberva and Hector Giotopoulos Moore. I love that sometimes I could say his name perfectly fine, Giotopoulos, and other times I can't. Their twist is their biggest problem. I'm surprised that they have not hired a specialist to help this pair fix their twists, because their throws, they have like a 75% accuracy in their throws. They're side by side. They have like an 80% accuracy of landing their side by side. Their lifts are okay. They're a very tall couple, so they have really nice line. Their programs aren't great, but there's potential there. But that twist, every time he flings her up in the air, she comes and whacks him on the shoulder. And I don't understand why they will not hire a specialist to fix that. I personally really like Alyssa Efrenova and Misha Metrofanov. She is such a firecracker. She is so determined. And of course she would be. She used to compete for Russia. So you know she was forged in the belly of the beast. So you know she's one of those pair girls who's going to get it done. The side by side, of course, like so many other pairs, is where their limitation is. But I love both of their programs this season. I just don't think that America is going to put their political power behind Alessa and Misha, because right now she doesn't have US citizenship, so she wouldn't really be eligible for the Olympics. So I think they're leaving their options open so they can back another pair if need be. But I love especially their short program, that Flamengo. He looks like he's not a very open person on the ice. I don't know how he is in real life, but on the ice he seems very closed, very reserved. But even he comes to life in that program, and that just goes to show you how well constructed that program is. And I also like, their long program. I very much like this pair. And then Ekaterina and Dmitry, another pair with very strong technical component that I can easily see in the top 10. If other pairs falter, maybe even as high as the top 8, top 6. They have a good twist. They have good throws. They have good lifts. They have really nice line. For me, they are one of the pairs that looks the best together on the ice. They do come off a little immature, a little juniorish. They need some polish. I get the whole modern dance theme they're going for. It's really interesting. I just don't think they have the vocabulary of movement on the ice yet to pull off that particular style of a program. But definitely I feel like they're definitely interesting. Also a pair that I would love to see in the top 10 so that Italy can have 3 spots would be Rebecca Gelati and Filippo Ambrosini. I love this pair. I love this pair. They are so connected to each other and to the music. Their lifts are effortless. They have so much passion in the ice. They have so much transition in their program. But oh my God, that side by side, double toe, that even at double toe, like maybe they'll get the job done 20% of the time. And then the throws, sometimes it's beauty, sometimes she goes flying all over the ice. But if you could just take away the throws and the side by side jumps, just an exquisite pair. I feel like in terms of like being a steady pair, we could also see Kellyanne and Lucas in the top 10. Again, they have all of their elements and all the elements are solid. They're growing into the artistic part of their skating. Again, they're a very young pair. They've been together for a long time, but they're very young in terms of their age. So the potential is there. Their programs are fine, like nothing to write home about, but they're fine. Another pair that has surprised me all season is Anastasia Vempenlaw and Luke Digby, especially at European, especially in the short program. They were amazing. And I feel like if they have another European style short program and they back it up with a decent long program, they could easily find themselves in the top 10 or maybe even as high as the top 8 if the other skaters compete really badly. And then other competitors for like the top 20, Gabriela Izzo and Luke Merivafer, they are brand new pair, but they are showing a lot of potential. If they can get their nerves together, you never know. And then, Oksana Verla-Moss and Tom Bavart, they have a fabulous twist. Like just whoosh, whoo, fabulous twist. Cannot wait to see that twist. I'm also looking forward to see how Yuna and Shumitada compete against that senior international pressure, trying to keep multiple spots for Japan. So I'm definitely looking to see how that goes. So moving on from pairs, we go to men. Okay, what I want to see happen is completely irrational and is not going to happen. But listen, you know what? Words are powerful, so I'm going to put it out there. For me, the way I would like to see men play out would be Junhwa Cha in first place, Yuma Kageyama in second place, Ilya Melanin in third place, Lucas Brucci in fourth place, Mikhail Shudorov in fifth place, Adam Siomhemfa in sixth place, Shun Soto in seventh place, Danis Vasiliev in eighth place, Alexei Alexander Valsenko in ninth place, Kevin Amos making up the top 10 place. Then I would also like to see in 11th place Mikhail Solovko, Jason Brown, Andrew Togashev, Nikolai Momolov, Tsaya Saboy, Adam Hagera, Daewei, Hung Jing Ong Kim, Roman Sadovsky. I would like to see in my top 20 Donovan Carrillo. Then I guess the 18 and 19 Nika Gitsa and Daniel Grasso. That's how I would like to see it happen. What I think will likely happen is, depending on how much menning the men. The thing is, I feel like men is probably the field that is hardest to determine because they're so inconsistent and have been so all over the place the entire season. So it depends on how much menning happens in the men's competition. But more than likely, I think the judges will go with Ilya Melanin because his technical arsenal is just that vast. And also, I always want to be fair as much as I could be. He has been growing a lot in terms of his artistry, and he's also very young, so I want to give him the room to grow. I prefer the short program to the long program, to be quite honest. I do think he's a wonderful jumper. I do think he's a once in a generation talent in terms of his technical abilities. Is his scores being inflated in terms of his PCS? Are we seeing the inflation? Yes, but we've always had that. We had the Chinflation when we had the era of Patrick Chin. We have the Nateflation when we had the era of Nathan Chin. Now we are in the illflation era when we have the inflation of Ilya Melanin's score. And the reason for this is because even though there are clear set rules about what PCS is, the judges ignore them all the time. The judges ignore them all the time. And the reality of it is, if you jump and you jump clean, even if your entire program is a jump drill, the judges will still give you the PCS score. And I'm not saying Ilya's entire program is a jump drill, but I am saying, compared to some of the men in the field that he's competing with, the PCS scores that he's getting make no sense. Then in second place, I'm going to put Yuma. I think the judges will put Yuma Kageyama, but I don't even know because Yuma has been so inconsistent this entire season. I don't think has he had a clean long program all season? No, he's not had a clean long program all season. And most of his short programs have also had one error or another. But if Carolina can help him get his mental game together and he could deliver these two programs clean at Worlds, that would send such a message in terms of setting him up for the Olympic. But honestly, we're going to have to wait and see. I think in third place here will be Mikhail Shudorov. He's another skater that's very inconsistent. He can go out and skate light out with an arsenal that's almost technically comparable to Ilya, or he could bomb. He's that inconsistent of a skater. Now, he is a skater that's more leaning towards the technical than he is towards the artistic, but he's one of those skaters that I absolutely adore to watch jump because his jump technique is so beautiful. His jump technique is better than Ilya. Like a lot of Ilya has more jump and his jumps are more difficult, but Mikhail has the better jump technique. If you really just watch his jump technique when it's on, it's effortless, it's beautiful. Because again, he has the Alexei Mishin jump technique, which to me is a world-class jump technique that the Russians have at their disposal that they do not use. That's another rant for another video. But because he has that jump technique, watching him jump, even if his program is mostly a jump drill, I still enjoy it immensely because his jumps are so beautiful and effortless. Then I think in fourth place, just right off the podium, the judges will have Junhwa Cha. Junhwa has two of the best programs this season. This is my aesthetic preference of a skater. Musical, light, effortless, beautiful choreography, beautiful transition, a complex program. But that quad toe is just his arch nemesis. I mean, the quad sow is a thing of beauty. Oh, but that quad toe is his damn nemesis. And then that triple axel, he be giving that triple axel a long, hard look. So between the triple axel and the quad toe, if he can get it together and in the short program, do a beautiful quad toe, a good triple axel, set himself up really nicely. Then he goes to the long program. He does a clean quad sow and a clean quad toe. He might be on the podium, but for now, I think the judges will put him into fourth place. In fifth place, I'm putting Adam Sionhemfa. I know Adam has the technical firepower to compete with the best in the world, and he's also one of those performer type of skater that I also enjoy. I always enjoy his presentation. He's always so committed to his artistry. I am a big fan of skaters who experiment, who try to grow, and he's definitely one of those skaters. But he has been injured all season and he persists on doing that damn stupid backflip that I don't know why his coaching team are not nipping that in the butt, especially since he's injured. So I don't know how much he's healed doing now from his last competition. So I don't know if he has enough to make it on the podium, but definitely I can see him making the top six. Also in my top six, I would put Lucas Bucci. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful outing at European, coming from 8th to 1st. He's also seemed to have had some injuries this season. Lucas Bucci is another well-balanced skater. He's not as technically as some of the other skaters, but he is very musical, very performative, very in tune to the audience. He projects well. So definitely if he can get two clean program under him, definitely easy top six. If other people, men, like they tend to do, maybe a sneak, dark horse for the podium. Then probably in 7th place, the judges might put Shun Soto. Another skater that is so unimaginably inconsistent. Again, not had two clean programs this entire season. And it's mostly the long programs for him. But the judges have been toying with him all season in that short program, not letting him beat that 100, a barrier. I feel like if he could come here, do a 100 plus short program, that would set him up really well for next year, as well as in the eyes of the Japanese Federation. And then he's just going to have to figure out mentally what he needs to do for that long program to get it together. Alexander Valensko has had a very surprising Season for me. Maybe not for others, but definitely for me. He has come on technically very strong. He seems like he has the mindset of a competitor. So I'm very interested to see what he could do here. I can definitely see him with a top 10. Another skater, easy top 10, maybe breaking into the top 8, is definitely Denis Vasiliev. Wonderful season so far. He managed to land that quad sow, and it looked like a beauty. I feel like if he could land the quad sow in the short program, he can definitely easily break into the top 10 if he stays on his feet in the long program. Again, I absolutely adore Denis Vasiliev. He's such an emotional, intuitive type of skater. He has such beautiful line. He's so tall. He takes up so much space. He's so commanding as a skater. I do love both of his programs this season as well, which also helps. So I'm really praying for that quad sow to come through. Another skater that has me on all my candles lit up, praying nonstop, is definitely Kevin Amos. Again, two beautiful programs this season. Again, unimaginable inconsistency. We might just get a brilliant Kevin Amos that deserves to be on the podium, or we might not. And I'm just going to pray for Kevin. I feel like at this point, that's all I can say about that situation is I'm going to pray for Kevin. Then, you also have the Selevsko brothers who have been doing very well this season. I can easily see both of them in the top 10 if they compete well and the other men don't. Jason Brown, always an easy pick for the top 10. But we don't know. We don't know where he's at technically. He hasn't competed that much this season. We haven't seen the triple axel, but still, Jason is always a joy and a beauty to watch. So regardless of what happened, I'm going to enjoy a Jason Brown performance. But again, I'm lighting all the candles to let him be clean, both in the short and in the long, so he could get a top 10 finish. Another possible top 10 finish would be Andrew Turgashev. Had a very strong season. Almost made it to the Grand Prix final, as a matter of fact. If he can gain the confidence from those events and come to Worlds and goes relatively clean, easy top 10 finish for him. Then rounding up like the top 15 to the top 20, I would definitely say Nikolai Momola. I know probably in the top 10, the judges are going to put Daniel Grasso and Nika Egatse because they have the quads. But, oh my God, Daniel Grasso, that balletic free program, long program, please somebody tell this kid to change it. It's just no good. And then Nika, he's gonna have Eteri rubbing his knees in the kiss and cry, but that's not gonna give him any more artistry, even if the judges give him the PCS score. But I feel like they'll easily be in the top 10, top 8. The judges will put them there. Probably in the top 20, we'll see your Adam, we'll see your Day. Roman, also a very up and down season. Are we going to get a Roman Sadovsky that gives us two clean program? Or are we going to have a really nice short program and then a half long program? We don't know. I would love to see Donovan Carrillo in the top 20. Again, that quad sow, if he could get it, oh, it would be wonderful. Then moving on to dance. I feel like the judges are going to probably keep the status quo because there's so very little mobility in ice dance. But since I get to pick what I would like to see, I'm okay with Madison Chalk and Evan Bate winning this if they're clean. Definitely Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier in second place. In third place, I would like to see Marjorie Lajoie and Zachary Laga. In fourth place, I would like to see Yulia Tequila and Matthias Velus. In fifth place, I would like to see Evgenia Loporova and Jeffrey Bissot. In sixth place, I don't care. I'm putting Charlene Guinard and Marco Fabri. Then in the top 8, I would definitely like to see Olivia Smart, Tim Dick, as well as Natalie Teshlova and Philippe Teschler. Then from like the top 10, from top 10 to 20, I'm putting in 10 or 11. I would put Lila Fair and Lewis Gibson. Then probably Christina Carrera and Anthony Podomarenko. Definitely in my top 20, I would love to see Yuka Orihara and Juno Pereira, as well as Carolina Green and Michael Parson. Also, I would love to see Katerina Moskova and Danielle Masev in the top 20. Probably we'll get to see like Allison Reed and Celeste Amboslas Feliz. Um, all of these skaters will probably make it to the top 20. What I think the judges will do is I think they're going to keep the status quo. I think we're going to have Madison Chalk and Evan Bates as our winner. We'll have Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier as our silver. And then we'll have Charlene Guinard and Marco Fabri as our bronze medal. So I don't think we're going to see. And then in fourth place, we'll probably see Lila Fair and Lewis Gibson. So I don't think we're going to see any major shuffle with the top team for the ice stands. With Madison and Evan, I do not want this to be another title that is awarded to them. I feel like their last 2 world titles was awarded to them. They did not win them convincingly. I would like for them on home ice to convincingly win this title, to have a clean rhythm dance and a clean free dance. Again, I like their rhythm dance, but I really, really love that free dance. That smoky New York jazz cafe concept really does the speakeasy jazz era. I do like the concept that they're getting at with this free dance. Again, as for Piper and Paul, I love their rhythm dance. I think it's so cheeky. I think it's so fun. I'm okay with their free dance. I don't love their free dance. I really love the rhythm dance a lot more. I don't love the free dance. And that's why I think if they're clean in both programs and Madison and Evan are also clean, that Madison and Evan will probably win it by a small margin. The judges are going to put in third place Charlene and Marco. And technically speaking, I understand that because technically speaking, of the top 3 team, they are the most proficient team. However, I don't like either of their programs. Not that mustard ketchup get up they have going on for the rhythm dance, and not the robotic free dance. I'm not a big fan of it. And then when we get to like fourth place with Lila and Lewis, I'm usually a big fan of Lila and Lewis. I was one of the first to get on board with the Rocky free dance because I saw how much it could energize the audience and how much potential it has. Unfortunately, I do not like their Beyonce free dance, and I would have to say their rhythm dance is not memorable. I've seen it all season, and I can't remember a single move in that rhythm dance that I was like, wow, I remember this move. I don't. The only movements I remember is the movements in their free dance, and I don't remember them in the positive light. They have that, T-Rex leg, Ragoon leg lift that they do that I'm just not a big fan of. I don't like this free dance at all. Then I feel like they're the 3 teams that I would like to see do well here and have the most social mobilities is not going to happen. So Marjorie and Zachary, again, their rhythm dance is okay, but I really do like that Sound of Silence free dance. I feel like it's there. Like they are on the cups of having a moment, like it's having a meal that's almost perfect, that's just missing one little season, but you don't know what that season is. And if you could just add it, it would be the best meal in the world. I feel like that program has the potential to have like a moment. They just need to bring it. Then the judges will probably go with Evgenia and Jeffrey. They won European. They have had a very, I'm sorry, they didn't win European. They won their one of their Grand Prix. They have had a very, very, very good season, winning, on home ice in France and then doing so well at Europeans. Honestly, I really like both programs of this pair. I feel like they're doing the whole robotic techno wave so well. I feel like this is a pair that this season they took inventory of their skills, their talent, and then they went and they found two programs tailored to their skills, to their talent. And I really enjoyed their programs this entire season. Then we have Yulia and Mateus. They don't have the political backing, but goodness gracious, do they have an amazing free dance. One of my favorite free dances this season. It's just stunning. But unfortunately, they don't have the political backing, and so that is that. Then I think the judges might let into the top 10 Olivia Smart and Tim Deek. I really like their rhythm dance. The judges keep underscoring that rhythm dance. But listen, the minute Olivia stands there and she starts tapping her hip, I am in there. And then when we get to that free dance, that exquisite free dance, my favorite free dance of this season, a masterpiece. And I'm saying this as somebody, when I first saw this free dance, I was like, what is this hot messery? But the way this free dance has grown over the season, they are just growing as a pair, and it's wonderful to see. Now, she didn't even make my top 20, but I definitely see the political maneuvering, the Ekaterina power, the Russian power remnant that has remained, getting Diana Davis and Gleb Smokin into the top 10. I don't know why. I don't know how, because they don't even make my top 20. They don't have the skating skills of the other skaters that I have in my top 20. They don't have the ice presence of the other skaters that I have in my 20. And they definitely were not given good skate programs this season. I'll just say it. I feel like I am Marie-France Dubry and the whole bunch took Iteri's Putin money and then proceeded to give these kids what I would call subpar program. Gitchy gitchy ya ya da da. No, sit your dada on the side. What are you giving to this child? And then the Led Zeppelin, yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. They're not in my top 20, but I think the judges will let them sneak into the top 10. And they will let them do that on top of pairs like Natalie and Philippe. Oh, how I wish this pair had the right political backing, because out of all of the pairs here, they have the deepest edge. They have the longest stroke. They have the most power. Oh my God, the way they cut through the ice is like butter. I love this team so much, and I wish they had the political power that would make the judges give them the scores that they need. They also do need to get better packaging and programs, but oh my God, this pair is just, technically speaking, just fabulous. They have this one lift where she's upside down in a full split and he's perfectly balanced. Love it. Love this pair. Unfortunately, I don't think the judges love them, and that is just sad. And definitely, I think the judges will try to have in the top 10 Christina and Anthony. This pair has definitely grown a lot since I've watched them come from juniors now to seniors, and they are incredibly well politically backed. They have Scott Moyer as a coach. How much more politically backed can you get? And then you also have Madison Hubble as a coach. And then you're with IM. All the right moves have been made for this pair to become the second pair in the US, and eventually when Madison and Evan retire, to become the first pair in the US. I do see growth in this pair, but I do feel like the political pull by the US for them might be a little too premature because the US has some fabulous pairs, and I wish they would just step on the gas a little. Then again, another pair that I think the judges will like put in the top 12, top 16 would definitely be Yuka and Yuno. Love this pair. When you talk about performative, this is the pair that comes to mind. They're entertaining, they're amusing, they're everything. I love their chorus line program. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I feel like they do it so well. They're so committed to every movement. I am a huge fan. Also, another pair that I think will break the top 12, top 15 is definitely Caroline Green and Michael Parson. Another fabulous, innovative pair that I thought was losing steam, but they seem to have a last minute gust of wind that's pushing them where they need to be. This pair is very innovative, very refreshing, very unique, and I'm always interested to see where they're going to go. And I hope they keep going in this very unique, path. I also think the judges are gonna go with Allison and Salus to keep them in the top 12, but I'm sorry, I can't remember their rhythm dance. It's not that memorable, and then the doll like free dance doesn't do it for me. So, and then, we can probably see in the top 20 maybe Phoebe Becker and James Hernandez. I really, really like their programs, especially the James Bond program. We see a lot of James Bond program, but I feel like they do it very well. So definitely I can see these pairs being in the top 20. And then finally getting to the marquee event, the women. Like with the pairs, the women is one of this event, like there's 6 different women who could win this event, and I would be absolutely perfectly okay. So starting with my pick, I'm going with Kari Sakamoto for the simple reason that I went with Diana Stiletto. Longevity, building of champions over disposable winners. Kari is in her 4th Olympic cycle. From junior now to a wonderful young woman, fully in charge of her skating, we have watched Kari grow into a champion. And that to me is amazing. And having her finish on top of the podium here, again, will send that signal, especially to women, which is probably the one discipline where we get the little 14, 15, 16-year-old that burns brightly for a season or two and then it disappears from the sport, never to be heard from again. I want them to have more Kari. I want them to look at Kari Sakamoto and say, I can take my time and have a long, fulfilling career. So for me, having Kari win here, amazing message. In second place, I have Amber Glenn. Oh my God, so many years invested in cheering for Amber Glenn, and she's finally getting it together. The physical, the mental, the spiritual, it all seems to be coming together for Amber. And I can easily see her with a silver medal here, if not more. In third place, I'm putting Cheon Kim, the little spicy engine that could. Yes, I know her face never changed. There is no change to Cheon's face throughout 2 programs. But she's got such nice, easy jumps. She's got such nice, easy edge control. And for somebody so small, she actually skates really big. And I feel like hopefully after this season, they really work on her facial mobility so that she can get more into the programs. In fourth place, I'm putting Wakaba Higuchi. I've always said this and I'll continue to say this. The ISU, the Olympic Committee, owe Wakaba Higuchi a bronze medal. They owe her a bronze medal at the Olympic. She was robbed, and she continues to be robbed in terms of her PCS. I don't know what the judges are watching, but it's definitely not the same thing I'm watching because they continue to screw Wakaba Higuchi over in terms of her PC. If she could go clean here, it will be a hard challenge for her to get into the podium, but I could definitely see her with a top 4 finish. Then probably in 5th place, I'm gonna put Monashiba, even though she's been somewhat inconsistent towards the latter part of the season. She started out the season incredibly strong, but towards the latter part of the season, I feel like exhaustion is getting the better of her. And also at Four Continents, she looked quite sick, so I hope she's recovered and she's okay. I love both of her program. That Donna Summer short program, a thing of beauty. She is such a beautiful, well-rounded skater. I absolutely love Mona Chiba, and she has such a bright future ahead of her. Then I would probably put in 6th place Nina Pinzaroni. Just a very, very consistent skater. Unfortunately, the judges are not a big fan of her because they keep hitting her with under rotation. But I feel like if she could manage to work on those under rotation, given how consistent she is, she could get it done. I definitely see Elisa Liu as high as 6th place because I think the US is going to push for it. They're going to push for her to be in 6th place so they can maintain those 3 spots. The same way Japan is going to push to maintain those 3 spots. Then definitely, I think in the top 10, we're going to see Kimi Rippon. Kimi Rippon has just been at the edge of getting the job done this entire season. And I hope that Worlds is the place where she finally gets the job done. Then also winning European, surprising all of us, Nina Petrokina. If she can come out with another performance like what she has at European and some other skaters falter, easy top 6 finish. Easy top 6 finish. Then, also Anastasia Gabanova. The judges seems to be warming up to her. So another skater that could be in the top 6 to top 10. Sofia Sebedolkina. Easy top 10 finish for her if she goes clean. There's a lot of work to be done there in terms of the PCS, in terms of the artistry, but the jumps are solid. So definitely easy top 10 for her. I'm hoping for a top 10 finish for Lara Naki Goodman. I love her Squid Game theme long program. Short program. She is such an amazing interpretive, performative skaters. Yes, I get it. She doesn't have the jump capability of some of the other skaters, but what she does have is just absolutely amazing and wonderful, and I love to see it. I don't know how well Hyen Lee will do, which means I feel like out of all the federations that have 3 spots for women, South Korea is probably one of the federations that's probably most at risk of losing that 3rd spot. I think Hyen Lee could do is I would say top 12 finish for her based on how she's performed is doable. But then again, you can never count Hyen Lee out because she's gonna eat that step sequence. And if she could get her jumps together, she can break top 8, top 6. We would have to wait to see. I don't think Madeline is breaking the top 10. I think a top 15 finish for Madeline Trezor is probably the best. Skizas for Madeline Skizas is probably the best that we're going to see. She just has not been consistent this entire season. Her jumps are a little all over the place. Another skater that might do a top 20 here would be Jayne N, aka Nini. If she could stay on her feet, maybe she could break the top 20. Then again, another maybe would have to be South Korea and Soon-Yoon. Again, staying on her feet, she could break the top 20. I think the judges would probably have Livia Kaiser, Lauren Chow, all in the top 20. Then maybe Ekaterina Karakova. Now, this entire thing could be a spoiler for one skater, and that is Isabel Levito. I don't know where to put Isabella Vito for two reasons. One, because she's been injured and she's coming back from injury. We don't know what level her comeback is at, if she's at 100%. Two, I've read the ISU guideline for jumps. And I believe the judges have probably also read the ISU guideline for jumps, even though they purposely ignore it. In my world, there is, other than her double axel, there is not a single jump that Isabel does that should ever get a positive GOE. Why? Because the guide for the ISU to judge jumps are very specific about the criteria: speed going in, speed going out, height, distance, ice coverage, posture. All of these are factors that are supposed to be taken into account when given GOE for jumps. Isabel comes to a complete stop when she's about to jump. She bows 90 degrees to the ice, barely leaves the ice, barely travels, and then land. There's no way to give her jumps a positive GOE. And so for me, since I would never be giving any of her jumps positive GOE, I find her placements to always be a little baffling. But then again, her strengths are incredibly strong. This is definitely a skater with a lot of it factor. This is definitely a skater with wonderful performance, beautiful musicality. I absolutely love her Breakfast at Tiffany program, and I'm glad we get to see it once again this season. So it's really hard to place her, but she could be a spoiler. She is a fighter, and that's why I really like this kid. That's why it breaks my heart that they taught her that shitty Iteri jump technique, because there is so much to like about Isabel. She's personable. She's definitely got that it factor. She's likable. She's musical. She's performative. She projects to the audience. Everything is there. And then she's got the mind of a fighter. This is a child that knows how to fight back against everything. So it's hard for me to place her, but she could definitely be a spoiler. She could be a spoiler for top six. She could be a spoiler for the podium. It's hard for me to place Isabella Vito. But anyways, guys, that is my prediction from what I think is going to happen at the 2024 World Figure Skating Championship, the Senior World Figure Skating Championship. So these are my prediction, what I would like to see happen, what I think is going to happen based on the judges' picks so far, based on preferences, based on politics, the whole shebang. But you guys let me know in the comments how you think this championship is going to play out.